Hi everyone, how are we light workers? So I've come on today because Spirit's guided me that I needed to speak further um, about what the meditation that I did the other day was. And yes, so in saying that, um, even though the meditation was about releasing abuse, at no point is it saying that what happened was okay, because the behavior that occurred is not okay. What we are doing is we are transcending the experience as best as we can. And that's what I'm calling transcending. Then we're transforming, then we're transmuting. It is a process and it takes time. It will not happen overnight, but it will happen. We came here to learn and to let go of experiences that we were meant to let go of. I'm not saying that abuse is like the easiest thing to let go of. Of course, you need to acknowledge every emotion inside of you, whether you were the victim or the abuser. Unless you deal with that, basically energy goes where attention flows. So until it is dealt with, it becomes a reoccurring cycle. And it's not going to happen overnight. And the other thing is, your story needs to be heard. The more that you pretend that it didn't happen, the more the reoccurrence could possibly occur. I'm not saying that it will, but I'm just saying that denial is not a good option. I remember being in denial a lot myself and feeling a lot of shame and a lot of inner turmoil with a lot of incidents that happened with me, and there was more than one. And I will just touch on the way that I dealt with some things through my journey. This is quite big for me. But Spirit says this is my process so that I can help others. I've been pushed to share my knowledge to help you on the journey to heal. So if you are guided here, then congratulations on taking the first step on your healing journey. And I'm telling you, honey, get your warrior stick out and begin. And be gentle with yourself too, because healing is a very personal thing. It's the same with grief, because I also do mediumship, and grief is a very personal thing too. No one can tell you when you're ready. No one can tell you, oh my God, I'm completely healed. Woo! You know, it's happened. That's for you. That's your journey. Only you will know when you are starting to feel what I call an equilibrium in yourself again. So I will go back. Oh, they're telling me to. This is the one thing with me, is I don't do things the way society does them. I'm the opposite side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. If I can do it backwards, I'll do it backwards. If I can do it forwards and everybody else is doing it backwards, guess who's doing it forwards? It's just the way it is. So we're going to begin. At the moment that I felt the healing had begun, I was working with a beautiful friend who's the most magnificent energy worker in the world. The Lady Bell is what I'll leave you with. Magnificent woman, one, and very dear to my heart in every single way. Most magnificent woman of integrity. Anyway, I remember after a beautiful energy session, couldn't believe it. I went to the mirror and I saw myself for the first time in 20 years. I couldn't believe it. I went to the mirror and I can't even explain it. All I can say is the light was in my eyes, and it had been 20 years since I'd seen that light. I thought that had disappeared. I bawled my eyes out and I told her. Could not believe it. I said, oh my God. I saw the light in my eyes for the first time in 20 years, and I couldn't believe it. So Spirit wants me to leave you with that for the beginning of the journey, to remember when you get close to the end of the journey and you're having that moment like, holy effing shit, I don't know if I'm ever going to find some form of equilibrium, which is balance. So only you will know the answer to that question. Cannot answer it for you, but I will try to give you the hope of the light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how long it may seem. And these days, we're pretty much going a little bit faster at light speed with getting to the golden healing journey light. That's all that I'll say. Now we'll go back to the beginning, where I was at what I'll call my SARC counsellor. And I remember the day that she told me I was going to have to confront my abuser. And I was also going to have to tell the part of my family that I hadn't told, which was my dad. This was really hard for me. 100% hard, considering I was very close to my dad, and the people that hurt me were very close to my father too. They were trusted friends of the family. And it was the hardest bloody day of my damn life. My SARC counsellor said, make the choice. Are you taking the bastards to court? And I said, but it happened so long ago. And she said, it doesn't matter. Are you taking the bastards to court? Because if you're not, the other direction we've got to go is we're going to have to do some letter writing. So at the time, cut a long story short, my abuser happened to be in hospital dying. And part of me was happy, but part of me was sad as well, thinking I shouldn't wish like that, being a Christian woman. And I had deep and meaningful with my mother, and we made the decision, because he was dying, God was going to take care of that part for me instead of going to court, because he was nearly dead. So, that part was decided. So, making a long story short, I wrote the letter, the hardest letter I ever had to write in my entire damn life, telling my father every single detail, but not graphically, because I'm not out to scar him, but telling my father exactly what that piece of human garbage had done to me. And I cried. And I cried. Because I'd already told my mum years ago. It was easier to tell my mum than it was to tell my dad, because we were so close that it was the hardest thing for me to do, especially when it was his very close friend of the family, who was like family. And I was having to tell him in this letter just how much they had betrayed him and hurt his own daughter. I think my heart fell out on the ground about 20 times writing the letter. But I did it. I did it before my father died. Another lot of guilt. Shall I tell my dying father about this piece of human garbage who he trusted, who was also dying, that had hurt me? But it's what my therapist advised me to do, and it was probably one of the best first steps I ever did in my life. So don't ever think it's too late for justice or too late to tell your story, because it never is. And it's like your story needs to be heard. You need to be heard. Because in standing up, you have begun the healing journey for your entire bloodline by saying, fuck no, this shit will no longer continue in my bloodline. This shit will stop today. And that was also the next moment where my grandmother came through to me from the other side saying, you must shine your light. It is time for the secrets to come out of the darkness. Even further confirmation that I was to stop hiding. Stop hiding in the dark. Stop hiding in the shame. Stop hiding my story and shine light on things that in our family were never meant to be spoken about. So yes, out of the darkness, the light shone brightly, and the healing journey began. It was not an easy one. Every now and then, yeah, there is still a little bit of anger there, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And every day on the journey gets easier. But you know what? It's a bit like AA, I suppose. You know, they have everything for Alcoholics Anonymous and all this other stuff. But I've got to be honest with you, there needs to be more programs out there for other people that are healing, like a 12-step program. Maybe there is. Maybe I don't know, because I just hid so long and did it all on my own for a long, long time until I went to therapists. Don't do that. Don't hide in the dark. Go get the help. They're there to help you heal. They're there to help you with the journey. There's no need to feel shameful. You didn't wear the wrong dress. For goodness sake, the first time I was hurt, I was 6. I can tell you I wasn't wearing the wrong dress. I was a kid. I didn't make the choice on what I wore. I was a child. And it didn't give him the right or her the right to hurt me or to hurt you or anything. Because without me saying anything, I can respect some of people's belief, but I don't give a flying shit. If you want to wear a purple boob tube and the miniskirt up your ass, it doesn't give nobody the right to touch your sacred vessel without your permission. Let's just say there's been enough shame in the world. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, honey. Because I've been hurt by both, baby. And it just don't matter what you're wearing, how you look, or what you do. Because that's another issue that occurred. I thought I can't be too pretty to be attractive to the predator. Well, I can tell you it doesn't matter, because they're a predator because they're a predator. And that's just the way it is. It doesn't really matter. They're going to be a predator today or tomorrow, whether you're wearing yourself wrapped in a cotton dress from head to toe and you got your nose covered. Trust me, if the predator can get it open, it'll get it open. So don't you ever feel shame about your sacred vessel, because there ain't nothing that you did wrong to cause that predator to come to your door, because they just came. So let the healing begin, my darling. Let go of the shame. Let go of the blame. And like I said, even if you are the abuser, there's some things that might have happened to you and you just couldn't control your demons, and I'm not making excuses. You too have a story. Acknowledge yourself. Self-acceptance and acknowledgement is the biggest lesson in the healing journey on both sides. Wake up, be beautiful, be love, acknowledge the anger, acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the journey, acknowledge you. And that's what I came on to say today, because Spirit says, remember, your story could help another on the journey who doesn't know where to go. Blessed be, love, namaste, purple aliens. Have a wonderful day. Mwah. Love and light. Bye.